An American army is fighting for you.
1941, a date which will live.
Note that the first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. These forces met their mark.
We have declared the war in Vietnam.
But we don't plan to surrender either.
We are going to win.
Proportions and would lead to World War III.
Allied air forces began an attack on military targets.
Decide that in the 21st century that America...
March 5th, 2052, the United States has officially closed.
The United States will go ahead with a national quarantine. The new plague virus.
Disaster sweeping the collapse of the United Nations.
Right here, pull over. All right, ain't nothing in there.
War never changes. It was the inevitable result of the path humanity had chosen. Everyone who entered into the conflict expected victory. Everyone was optimistic. But as the hostilities escalated, optimism faded, and society began to collapse. The great vaults were built to house the wealthy, the powerful, the influential, and those deemed necessary to their survival. Inside, resources and technology were stockpiled, a final defense against the coming Holocaust. With the past behind them and the present destroyed, they looked to the future. The sturdy Vault Zero was to be the nucleus of the Vault network, housing the greatest leaders, artists, and scientists. The inhabitants of Vault Zero were to reunite the vaults and lead the people to a new life, a new world. But after the bombs, the world would be a harsh one. To ensure the creation of a post-nuclear utopia, the Vault dwellers would need help. Machinery was constructed to tame a land hardened by the ravages of war, then tempered by nuclear winter. But plans were barely in place when the first missiles left the silos. During the destruction, communication between the vaults ceased. Entire vaults were lost. Those that survived were on their own. Not all vaults succumbed to the machinations of war. On North America's west coast, one group of military vault dwellers emerged almost unscathed. They surveyed the wasteland and squared their shoulders for the task ahead. These dedicated survivors salvaged the technology from the vaults, technology that was studied, replicated, and fiercely guarded. For they knew that while their power came from numbers, their future lay in scientific knowledge. In time, they formed the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood used their knowledge to drive back the atrocities of the wasteland, proclaiming themselves the technological saviors of mankind. They scoured the land in search of more technology, raiding mutant camps, bandit towns, and the broken remains of other vaults. But even they could not keep pace with the high tolls demanded by life in the wasteland. The Brotherhood found themselves at odds with their need for new blood versus their code of technological secrecy. The debate was lengthy. Finally, the elders ruled against sharing the technology with outsiders, convinced that they would endure as they had before. Further discussion was discouraged, and the elders ordered the minority on a mission across the wastes. Super mutants, the foot soldiers of a conquered army, had been forced into a retreat across the mountainous barrier to the east. The Brotherhood constructed airships and dispatched the minority to track down and assess the extent of the remaining super mutant threat. But disaster struck while crossing the Great Mountains. A great storm gripped the main airship and flung it far from its course. The mighty ship was badly damaged. The smaller sections were torn from the main craft, never to be seen again. Many of the expedition's leaders were lost to the winds. The fraction of the crew that still survived struggled to keep their ship aloft before finally crashing on the outskirts of a once thriving metropolis, a city once called Chicago. Broken, scattered, and scarred, they took stock of the situation and once again squared their shoulders to the task ahead. The Brotherhood had much to offer the surrounding villages. They traded advanced medicines in exchange for food and labor. They traded protection from bandits in exchange for new recruits. In time, their ranks began to swell. Separated by distance and ideology from the main Brotherhood forces, the minority was free to forge a new Brotherhood of Steel, one that reflected the ideals they had strived for all along. However, one's future in the wasteland is never certain, for an old power has awakened, also bent on making this land its own. Life in the Brotherhood is about to change.
Recruit, attention! I am Paladin Ziskel. The elders have ordered me to mold you lizard-chasing, hut-dwelling, moon-worshipping savages into Brotherhood of Steel initiates. You are going to learn the basics of combat, followed by inventory management and other skills. First, let's talk about this miracle of technology which you are currently using, called the Pip-Boy 2000 computer. You will receive all your mission briefs and debriefs through this device, and you can use it to review any information you receive during a mission. Pay careful attention, as you will be given a lot of very useful information. Now begin the mission by left-clicking on Start Mission. Let's get started, recruit. During the mission, you can view your surroundings by using the cursor keys to scroll the viewing window. You can also use your mouse to scroll the window by holding it over the border of the desired direction. Center the game window on Rex by right-clicking on his control tab. Take a look around. You will only be able to see the enemy if there is a direct line of sight between them and at least one of your squad members. Rex is carrying a submachine gun, SMG, in his left hand. This is his currently selected weapon. If you don't have a weapon in your selected hand, then you can perform hand-to-hand attacks. It might not sound like much, but nothing ever feels as good as delivering a mailed fist to some unsuspecting raider's snot box. We're going to target the dummy nearest to Rex by moving the cursor over it. When we do this, the pointer changes to a targeting cursor. Now, click Done. Target the dummy, and left-click to fire at it. To make Rex move, you must left-click on the location you want him to move to. If you hold the Shift key down when you left-click, Rex will run to that location. Now move Rex to the Training Station 2 by left-clicking on the area of floor marked 02. Most weapons have more than one mode. For example, the SMG can be used in either single-shot or burst mode. Click Done, and right-click on the SMG to change it to single-shot mode and shoot the next dummy. Every character in the game has an inventory associated with them. Close this window and look at Rex's inventory by left-clicking on the button marked INV in the panel in the bottom right of the screen. The inventory window will list all the items that a character is currently carrying. You can get additional information on any item in the inventory by left-clicking on it. Rex currently has ammunition for the SMG and is also carrying a knife. When you have a squad of characters, you can redistribute items amongst them by opening a character's inventory and dragging items to the other characters or their character tabs. But this only works if the characters involved are close to one another. Close this window and drag the knife down to Rex's right hand to get him ready for a melee attack. After you have equipped Rex with the knife, close the inventory. Melee attacks are initialized in exactly the same way as ranged attacks. Select the knife as your chosen weapon by left-clicking on it in the hand slot. Right-click on the dummy at Training Station 3, and Rex will walk up to it and attack it with the knife. You can loot corpses to see if they contain any items of interest. Do not think of this as dishonorable. Your dead enemies have a wealth of items to aid the Brotherhood. Weapons, armor, ammo, money. It's all out there for the taking. Close this window and loot the body of the dummy you have just attacked by left-clicking on it. This window shows two inventories. On the left side of the screen is Rex's inventory. On the right side of the screen is the inventory of the dummy, which we are going to loot from. Take the key from the dummy by left-clicking on it, holding and dragging it into Rex's inventory. The key you have found is one of many unbelievably useful objects littered around the wastelands. You must use it to unlock the door to the next room. Left-click on the door, and Rex will walk up to it and unlock it. Now, left-click on the door to open it, and walk through the open door to Training Station 4. Many items in the world are in containers, hidden from prying eyes and sticky fingers. These objects can be identified because when you move the cursor over them, it will change into a yellow target. The locker on Rex's right contains some items, all of which will be of use to you. Left-click on it to open it. The container object menu is exactly the same as the looting menu. Take the grenades and the stim pack from the locker by left-clicking on the Take All button to save time. Remember that you can put objects into containers as well as take them out. The inventory window will remain open, so close it when you're finished. The final type of weapon we will cover is the thrown weapon. Drag one of the hand grenades from your inventory into your right hand. Your right hand should still be your selected hand, but if not, then left-click on it. Grenades do damage to all characters within a radius of effect. Right-click on one of the dummies at the far side of the room to throw the grenade at it. Now, open the next door and mosey in a military manner to Training Station 5 in the next room. Your characters have 3 sentry modes that can be set. These are selected using the buttons to the right of the right-hand slot. 1. Off. Only attack when specifically told to do so. 2. Defensive. Report back to the squad leader whenever an enemy is sighted and defend yourself if attacked. 3. Aggressive. Attack any hostile creatures if you have more than a 33% chance of hitting them. The attack threshold can be changed by right-clicking on the button. Now select the SMG and put Rex into attack mode by left-clicking on the aggressive button. Your characters will have a choice of 3 stances. These are selected by using the buttons to the right of the sentry mode controls. 1. Standing. While this may be new to some of you tribals, standing upright has been around for years. It's also the default mode and the only mode where the character can run. 2. Crouch. This is useful for getting under low obstacles. It also gives the character a higher chance to hit the enemy with guns because the weapon is held steadier. Crouching is also useful if there aren't any toilets around. 3. Prone. This is useful for getting under very low obstacles. It also gives the character the highest chance to hit the enemy with guns. Some weapons, such as the knife, cannot be used when prone. But watch out, you are much more susceptible to melee attacks when prone. Now, crawl through the low doorway to Training Station 6. This lesson will introduce some of the skills that will be useful to you in the wastelands. The next door is locked, and you do not have the key to open it. However, you can pick the lock. Picking a lock is kind of like picking your nose. If you're successful, you're going to end up with some kind of reward. Walk up to the door and open the Skill Decks menu by right-clicking on the SKL button in the bottom right of the screen. In this menu, you will see a lockpick button. Left-click on the lockpick button to select it, and move the cursor over the door and left-click. Your character should attempt to pick the lock. Like all skills, there's always a chance that you will fail. If you do, then repeat the operation until the door is unlocked. Once the door is unlocked, open it and walk through to Training Station 7. Let's move on to stealth. The next door is closed because it is equipped with a motion detector that will keep it that way as long as it detects movement in this room. Your chance to sneak is improved when your character is crouched or prone, but remember, you cannot sneak while running. Also, certain types of bulky armor will reduce your chance to use stealth. Now, use the sneak skill by left-clicking on the sneak button in the Skill Dex menu and walk through the door to Training Station 8. The green bar on your character's tab indicates how healthy your character currently is. Your health can be restored by using the stim pack which you found earlier. This object can be used to restore health directly by double left-clicking on it in the inventory window, or drag it into one of your hands and select it so it can be used on yourself or fellow party members. Use it on yourself now by double left-clicking on it. All of the statistics which govern your character abilities can be viewed through the character window. This window is opened by left-clicking on the CHR button. Go ahead, open this window now. The character window contains explanatory text for all of the statistics. This is accessed by left-clicking on the statistic in question. During the game, your character will receive extra skill points. These should be used to boost selected skills which you wish your character to specialize in. You will see that you currently have 20 spare skill points to spend. Use them to boost one or more skills. When you are finished, click the Done button. Finally, when you meet non-hostile characters, you can choose to talk to them. Some of these folks have valuable information regarding your mission. However, some of these civilian pukes have less information than your average pile of steaming mutant feces. The Brotherhood scribe in the room happens to fall in category number 1. Talk to him now by left-clicking on him.
Congratulations on getting this far, my son. You have completed this tutorial. Now, walk through the last door into the adjoining room. There you will be given access to a bath and a new mission.
In this tutorial, we demonstrate how to set up an ambush and draw out the enemy using a decoy. This strategy is particularly effective against less intelligent enemies, such as the dog you will encounter here. As with most encounters, this mission can be completed in a number of different ways. Click on Start Mission to view a recorded movie showing how to execute this combat maneuver. Start by selecting Strom and moving him into a position where he can carry out the ambush. He is armed with a submachine gun, which is an ideal short-range weapon for dispatching opponents. To get increased benefit, we will put him into a crouched stance and select the aggressive sentry mode. Next, select Dock and run him to a point which is far enough away from the dog so that he can avoid damage, but close enough to attract its attention. Now run away, Doc. Notice how effective the SMG is at close range. Now that you've seen an example of how a professional soldier would approach the problem, let's see how well you do. Click on... Well done. But remember that in the field, your opponents will often be more resourceful and better armed. In this tutorial, you will learn about the benefits of the sneak skill and melee weapons. We will move the character with the highest sneak skill up to a point behind one of the raiders. Meanwhile, we will move the character with the SMG into a position suitable for taking out the raider's partner. Click on Start Mission to view a recorded movie showing how to execute this combat maneuver. Start by setting Ghost to Sneak Mode, Aggressive Mode, and Crouched. Walk him into the hut, hugging the back wall to maximize your chance of sneaking, and come up behind the leftmost raider. Meanwhile, set Strom to Sneak Mode, crouch and walk him into the tent, trying to stay behind the low barriers. Reselect Ghost and attack the raider with the knife. Meanwhile, reselect Strom and attack the other raider with the SMG. Now that you've seen an example of how a professional soldier would approach the problem, let's see how well you do. Click on Done to continue. Congratulations, recruit. You're starting to understand some of the subtleties of close combat. In this, the final tutorial, you are faced with the problem of taking out an enemy who is entrenched in a well-defended position. You'll see how to use height to gain an advantage over the enemy. You'll also learn how to use area effect weapons in a relatively safe manner. Dismissed. Start by selecting both characters and put them into the prone position and sneak mode. Now, select Bullseye and move him to the top of the lookout tower to provide cover for Boomer. Whilst he's moving, select Boomer and get him to crawl around the other side of the bunker. Once he reaches the top of the stairs, switch Bullseye into aggressive mode to provide cover for Boomer. And use Boomer to throw grenades into the bunker. Whoa! See that mess, recruit? Well, guess who's gonna clean that up later? Now that you've seen an example of how a professional soldier would approach the problem, Let's see how well you do. Click on Done to continue. Well done, recruit. You have now completed your tactical training and may progress to real missions. If only the last class had been as successful.
Hut. All right, you mutated redneck green-skinned sacks of irradiated flesh, listen up. I am Paladin Rychek. I am in charge of training you backward maggots in the art of war and survival. In my time in the Brotherhood...
At ease, initiate. My...
Hut. All right, you mutated redneck green-skinned sacks of irradiated flesh, listen up. I am Paladin Rychek. I am in charge of training you backward maggots in the art of war and survival. In my time in the Brotherhood, I have personally trained more than 50 initiates, and I am proud to say almost 14 of them are still alive and kicking. The elders have ordered me to mold you flabby, hip-slapping, berry-picking, rat-rubbing Brahmin kissers into capable warriors. And I am going to do it, even if it kills you. I will teach you how to eat, sleep, walk, talk, shoot, spit like a Brotherhood soldier. First level of training will be recruitment detail. You'll go to the surrounding villages and see what able-bodied primates are ready for an honest life's work. It is your duty to remind the village elders that if they want continued protection from the scum of this world, they will uphold their end of the bargain by providing resources and their best and brightest for Brotherhood training. Now get your weak-kneed, superstitious, soft-skinned, uneducated butts to the armory. You will be issued basic weapons and armor. There are 3 simple rules to follow with Brotherhood equipment. If you damage your weapon, you will spend a week in the box. If you damage your armor, you will spend a week in the box. If you lose either, I'll kill you myself. And one final thing, ladies. Welcome to the Brotherhood of Steel.
At ease, initiate. My name is General Barnaky. I will be giving you your orders before every mission. But before that, I'd like to personally welcome you aboard. Considering that the Brotherhood basic training attrition rate is 85%, you should be very proud of yourself. Now, on to business. 2 nights ago, raiders invaded the resource-rich tribal village of Brahmanwood. Their losses have been heavy, and they are now ready to accept the Brotherhood's conditions for protection. We will return their lands and rescue these primitive people in exchange for food and a portion of their older children for new recruits. We must expand our ranks to meet our objectives, which makes every village count. I don't know what is driving the raiders this close to our base of operations, but they have been punishing the surrounding area. Brahmanwood is one of many villages that is now occupied by raiders. The inhabitants that did not escape have been slain or imprisoned. Make no mistake, initiate, they have killed a fair amount of our brothers. Do not underestimate them. You will take your squad to Brahmanwood, locate and eliminate the leader of the group of raiders. Once he is removed, his followers will surely fall into disarray. You will then use the Brotherhood's superior might and intellect to butcher the remaining criminals. This is a standard assault mission, so consult the map in your Pip-Boy for the latest intelligence on the area.
One more thing, warrior. You must ensure that the village elder survives. He is the key to our plans for this town. According to the local tribal custom, he alone deals with outsiders. Without him, we can have no agreement with the rest of the tribe. Dismiss!
Greetings to the Brotherhood of Steel. You are speaking with Charon, elder and tribal father to Brahman Wood. You have arrived none too soon. Our village has fallen to raiders who rode out of the darkness. Some of my people escaped death or bondage by fleeing into the wasteland, but without tools and shelter. This must be the doing of the Brahman god of fate. With the bandits we trade away our present. In the Brotherhood, we trade away our future. Ah, very well, Initiate. I fully agree to your terms, but I fear this decision will haunt me till I reach the eternal grazing field in the heavens. Our villages are being held prisoner in the camp. Save them, and you will have more people to aid your cause. Lose them, and you will be cutting Brahman from your own herd.
Well, looky here. I don't recall giving out invites to Brotherhood of Steel Dogs. I bet my boss will give me all the promotion and props I need after I bring him some Brotherhood slaves. Let's see what you trained monkeys can show little old Horace.
You've completed the objectives for this mission. Proceed to the exit grid to leave this mission.
My name is Hawkeye, Dreamwalker and Spirit Watcher for my people. I have watched your deeds from the spirit world. I understand that you have done our people a service. For that, I thank you. The spirits have told me where to find some small magic that may be of use to you in your journeys. I have retrieved the healing powder that it may be yours. But remember, the healing comes at a price, as your perception will suffer. Here, take it and go with my blessings.
Your grace in battle is wondrous to behold, Initiate. The death screams of the bandits reminded me of angels singing. They will think twice before attacking this village again. Initiate, you defended my people as fiercely as a deathclaw protects her cubs. Please accept this ancient gift from us. You are now considered family in my humble village. And of course, all the recruits will be delivered to your base as agreed. Well done. You have our thanks.
Mission complete, warrior. You have dealt with the raiders without hesitation and without mercy. Well done. Every defeat we hand them lessens their numbers and increases our realm of influence. The primitives you saved will be thankful and fearful of the Brotherhood in the future. This is important since the village must learn to live by our strict rules and thus be free. I have to admit it's been a while since an initiate performed so solidly in his first mission. The fact that your actions prevented the loss of a single primitive's life speaks volumes of your ability. To show their respect, they renamed their Brahmin stud after you. The Brotherhood, however, will look favorably on you for your next review. You're dismissed.
Greetings, warrior. I'm Octavius. I oversee your equipment. You will sign for all equipment issued. You will not leave until I am satisfied with your full compliance to regulations. Is that understood? Good. Now that you know the drill, let's get down to business. Back again, are we? Excellent. I trust that you've taken good care of your equipment. Let's see what you have.
Welcome, warrior. I am the personnel yeoman for the Brotherhood. If you want to put together a squad, you talk to me. So, what can I do for you?
At ease, warrior. We've underestimated the tenacity of these raiders. Shortly after your victory, the bandits have managed to kidnap the village elder. This is no doubt an attempt to break the spirit of Brahmanwood while they're still suffering from their recent losses. Fortunately, one of our informants within the raider camp has located the tribal father. It appears that the raiders are holding him on the outskirts of the broken town of Freeport in a medium-sized encampment. Your mission is to journey to Freeport, rescue the elder, and get out. Our informant should still be in the area, and he can be identified by the red armor he wears. So you should be able to distinguish him from the other raiders. But remember, while the informant is paid handsomely for his services, he is not a brother of steel and will not stand by your side if matters get complicated. Gather your squad. You are to depart as soon as possible. Dismissed. At ease, warrior. We've underestimated the tenacity of these raiders. Shortly after your victory, the bandits have managed to kidnap the village elder. This is no doubt an attempt to break the spirit of Brahmanwood while they're still suffering from their recent losses. Fortunately, one of our informants within the raider camp has located the tribal father. It appears that the raiders are holding him on the outskirts of the broken town of Freeport in a medium-sized encampment. Your mission is to journey to Freeport, rescue the elder, and get out. Our informant should still be in the area, and he can be identified by the red armor he wears. So you should be able to distinguish him from the other raiders. But remember, while the informant is paid handsomely for his services, he is not a brother of steel and will not stand by your side if matters get complicated. Gather your squad. You are to depart as soon as possible. Dismissed.
keep it quiet, and I'll tell you what I know. They've got this tribal father stashed away in one of the tents. I can't be sure which one exactly, but he's definitely here. I suggest you do this while everyone's still plastered. We just came back from a successful raid, and everyone's been either drinking or helping themselves to the prisoners. That's all I have for you. I'm not gonna deliver him to you for what you're paying me. Oh, and by the way, we never met. So don't try to talk to me again. I could get killed for helping you. Or worse.
Alarm! Intruders in the camp! Wake up, you pissant sons of bitches! I swear I'll cut the balls off anyone I don't see fighting! Get up, you curs! If they escape, God help me, I'll burn the motherfucking still to the ground!
Thank the Brahmin god of rescue you're here. The scoundrels clubbed me from behind while I was making water in the woods, then put me in a sack. A sack! Me! It's obvious that these cretins were never taught to respect elders. I can tell you little more, but I know that braggart of a raider leader hides his ill-gotten treasures in his tent. Perhaps it might be worth your while to pay him a visit. I am ready to leave. Talk to me again when it is safe for me to dash to safety.
The Elder has made his escape. Primary objective complete. Head to the extraction point to end the mission. Well done, warrior. On his safe return, Brahmin Wood's elder informed our inquisitors that he had been moved from camp to camp, presumably to keep his location a secret. Unfortunately, he was forced to wear a hood to prevent him from mapping his route and the location of the bandits' camps. One bit of information was learned. It seems some bandit groups are meeting some kind of opposition in the west. We didn't get any details, but the raiders have never won a conflict with this new presence. This could be just fearful mutterings of superstitious raiders, but it would give reason to their heightened activities in this region. The Brotherhood must investigate this new possible threat. The informant has been paid and is on his way to retrieve information on the new menace. You did well keeping him alive during your mission, and your attention to detail will bring you into high favor with the Brotherhood. Dismissed!